Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
Hello there, and welcome to the True Pop Culture 7 show. I'm your host, True Pop, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. Yeah, so bonfire night near me, so apologies to anyone listening. Don't worry, I'm not getting exploded or anything. It's just fireworks, endless fireworks till midnight and a half. So yeah, that's the big booms if you guys hear anything. Yeah, today I am very excited to be joined by Metalcommander. Metal, how are you doing today, sir?
Hello. Yeah, thanks for having me. No, I'm good. I'm good. Just chilling out on the Sunday. Just been vegging out, really. Nothing happening today.
Very chill, very chill.
Yeah, nothing exciting going on today, really.
Oh, I hope you can change that. Let's say some hellos to the chat. Hello, Elias Pena. Yeah, it's good to see you here. Toleto, thank you, sir, for coming on.
Hey
Muto,
there.
love to see it, Mr. Talk Boy. Thank you for coming on, sir. Well, this is new. Yeah. New intro.
Oh,
I've been
exciting.
editing that one. Just it's the 25th episode and very special guest. So I thought, you know what, this intro needs a heavy update. So I've got backgrounds and logos and stuff like that. Why not take advantage of StreamYard? Not Kevin Feige. We're gonna be critiquing your work, good sir, not Kevin Feige. Mel needs to recover from all the Allen too.
That game is still. It's going to be a while, so that's going to go away. It keeps being. God, that's a
Yeah,
spicy. That's probably one of my spiciest takes currently. Or
really.
me and Mahler and all the other ones that have been playing it.
It's a spicy thing to call it crap.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh, people love that game.
really.
They
Wow.
adore it. I've seen
Oh,
so much praise for that game.
yeah. I'm like that with Spider-Man 2 and kind of the first one. Everyone loves those games. I just think the first one is not as good as people say, but it's better than 2. 2's story is just good God. It's
I heard it's
terrible.
not very good. I think Fringy has been
No.
playing it. He gave me bits and bobs. I'm not super
Mm.
interested. I think I have the Miles Morales one from the other one because I got it
Mhm.
with my PlayStation in a
Yeah,
bundle.
yeah.
I still haven't touched it.
So you don't want to have the swagger of a teenage black teen, as this meme
I was
says.
never really interested in a game to begin with. It was
Mm,
just I got my PlayStation on eBay, and there was like 3 games with it, and that was one of them.
mm.
So
I got my PS5 with like a FIFA 23. I'm not touching that game. Like
mm,
my older sibling might, but it's just it was cheaper than just playing a PlayStation by itself. So I thought, hey, why not?
yeah, for sure.
Uh, coming submission in the 7th for the gross, a German.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
me. That's me.
First game's plot was okay, and then the ending is very good. Uh yes, for the first game story, the ending is very good. I would agree with that. Yes. This game's ending was not so good. But anyway, before we get to the juicy news topics and etc.,
Ooh, juicy.
Metal, I wanted to interview you a little bit, and I always ask this of new guests. Where did the name come from? Where did it originate from?
That originated in real life, actually. That's not even an
Okay.
online thing. I was visiting some friends back in the day, and we went to some indie metal band concert in a pub somewhere or whatever. I know it's been fucking 15 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the time I had like a military style coat. It looked like military or whatever. And there was some random guy, probably drunk as shit. It just told me, "You look like the Metalcommander." I was like, all right. And I was like, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to just use that. And yeah,
Nice.
that's that. Yeah, that's
So it just like dropped in your lap, just like that.
it. Pretty much, yeah. Before I
Wow.
even did any online stuff, that's just happened. I just used that as a nickname online, and then now
Okay.
here we are.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, for the story behind mine isn't really as special as yours, but I once did like a radio show. I tried to set one up anyway, and that was the name of the radio show, True Pop Culture 7. So
Alright.
I didn't think of like a YouTube name, just like a nickname for me. It's actually like a name of a show.
Right.
That's just why I shortened it to a name like True Pop. So it's yours seems more interesting of a story. Yeah, another thing I wanted to touch upon is your John Wick takes. Now I think you are the infamous one on EFAP to say like, yeah, the John Wick sequels are shit.
Oh, that wasn't me.
What?
That's
About that?
I initially liked the second one when I first watched it. I think I was fine with it, and then I talked to Mahler about it at some point, and then rewatched it. And it's like, oh, that's actually not that great. And then the third one was like, man, this is even. I don't like that either.
Oh, that's interesting because I remember hearing you say criticize it at first. Like, and I can't remember
mean,
more criticizing it.
I mean, they're
yeah.
not that invested in it. Like,
Okay.
that's just kind of have me doing that video it started as a meme. It's like, oh, so I should make a video, and then somebody just made one. Like Mahler kind of helped me out with that. Remember the first video or whatever.
Cool.
And then it just appeared. I don't know if people are even aware about of that now. I uploaded that video and it got manually striked by
Damn.
some random Turkish company. Yeah.
Why?
And like after 2 days, it was gone.
Wow.
And that's where I
Okay.
learned all the things about about how this copyright strike system works. It's like, oh yeah, YouTube, no, we're not actually doing anything here. We're just sending
Mhm.
all the private information you give us to them, and then it's a legal matter. It's like, oh, that's shit.
yeah, that does seem shit.
Because I
I'm.
emailed them.
Mhm.
I was like, yo, this is clearly fair use, whatever, all that stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, just send us X amount of money or we take down the rest of your channel. I was like,
Oh,
that's the only video on this channel for starters, so good luck. Also, I'm not gonna send you any money. And
wow.
because YouTube won't help you, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna sit that out and then just re-upload it on my now archive channel.
Cool. Oh, that's just depressing. Damn, man.
Yeah.
At least like YouTube has the system now where you can just not upload it and just check it that way.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a hassle, but that didn't used to be a feature. Still, it's something better. But
Yeah,
Turkey was trying to save us from that.
they failed.
Yeah,
I mean, that video was like 3 years ago now. So.
the drunkard needs to claim royalties from Mutual.
It's true.
In the future, yeah, probably. You probably should. Like someone knocking on your door and just like, you're the one.
I remember you.
Yeah. So as I thought about it, like when I heard your takes and I watched the video, and it's just like, no, you're right. The John Wick sequels are shit. And whenever I tell that my friends or any people that I stream with, they just look at me like, John Wick sequels are shit.
Yeah,
What are
people
you
love
on,
those movies.
Trooper?
Yeah.
No, it's no wonder, but it's just like I haven't watched the first one in a while, but from what I remember, it is definitely more. There's more character to it. I think John Wick has more of a motivation, like a personal revenge for going after these guys, and
Yeah.
in all of these sequels, he's just really trying to survive, and that's it, really. That's not really that much of a strong motivation.
Well, they try to remind you here and there. It's like, remember the wife, the dog. Remember the dog? Yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, he
I
still has
remember
that
that being
dog
important.
from the end
Yeah.
of the sermon. He's gonna sit over here for the rest of the movie.
And we're gonna completely forget about it. But no, the first one was definitely more so. I mean, what do you love about stories? For me personally, it's character, and the first one had that in droves, and
The
all
first one
these
was
other ones.
also much more grounded in
Yes.
reality to some degree. Like he
Mhm.
wasn't run over by 5 cars in one movie and just gets up again. And we didn't have the stupid fucking suit, the bulletproof suit. What a
Yeah.
stupid thing to add. You see him in the first one preparing. He has a normal Kevlar vest on under his
Yeah.
under his suit,
Mhm.
and he goes out and does things. He prepares stuff. Everything that's kind of happening makes kind of sense. When he's getting attacked in his house, like he
Mhm.
knows the house inside out. Obviously, it's its own house, and he just kind of grabs them all up one by one. Doesn't get in fights with like 5 people at once, all having guns, just walking towards him with the gun in their hand. And it's like, and then the other ones, and it's just annoying. The
No,
fights is just, oh, look at all these guys against the one guy. John Wick is
yeah,
so great. It's like, yeah, but why are they all walking towards him with their guns in their hand? Why are you doing
yeah.
that?
It decreases the stakes like dramatically. So, and I don't mind there being like a BS suit as long as you, I don't know, maybe make it limited use or some shit. Because
Yeah, that's
he's got like invisibility suit on, and it's just unfair at that point.
yeah, just have him have that as a last resort. But the first thing that happens in the second one when he gets shot in the suit immediately.
Yeah,
And
he
only because
pulls
he's a
back.
dumbass
Yeah.
about it. It's like, hey, I remember you, John. How you doing? Are you working? And John was like, yeah, I'm afraid so. It's like, why did you say yes? Could have said, oh no, I was
No.
invited to my friend's party because they established right before. Oh yeah, I thought we were friends. Oh, we still are.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Yeah.
talking to her right hand, so he probably knows about it. So he's like, oh no, I was just hanging out. Did you see her by the way? It's like, is she all right? I don't know.
That
Haven't seen her
reminds me,
around.
like, remember when John Wick had friends like William Dafoe's character? Now it just seems like annoyed bitch in the third one, and whatever his name is, the guy in Continental, that shot him off the
Winston.
bridge. Yeah, Winston.
Winston? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like I was kind of annoyed at the fourth one because they did nothing with that setup of him wanting revenge on Winston. I'm like, what are we doing here? I thought there'd be some revenge story. Finally, some motivation. All right, he's going for this guy because he shot him off a roof. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
He's still just trying to survive.
They team up and he survives at the end and is fine. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He needs more of a motivation. I don't know. Is he maybe has a relative that he has to protect? Or I don't know how you do it, but give him something other than the reason just everyone's after him and he has to survive. Like,
well, we also need to
like,
change the rules dramatically because we can't say everyone is a fucking assassin in this world. Like, I think at the end of the second one, where it's like he goes through that park and like everybody's looking at him, it's like that's like 100 people already. Like, what is happening?
And
then
he
you
kills
put out
so
all,
many. Yeah, and he
put
kills
out the
so many
bounty.
people. Yeah,
and what the later movies do as well, they just do the teleporting stuff. He's in Egypt, and now he's back in New York. It's like, oh, nobody was waiting for him at the airport or anything. Like, they just pretend like he's fine traveling everywhere, but has trouble traveling inside of New York itself because there's all the people waiting for him, even though the bounty is worldwide. I don't know. It just,
yeah, he kills like droves of people, and you'd think, doesn't anyone pick like it's John Wick? You know what? I might pass on this opportunity.
They don't do that. In the second one, you have this one lady in the subway station sees it. Oh yeah, bounty on John Wick. It's like, what are you fucking smiling for?
Yeah. And in the fourth one, right, the French guy, he raises the bounty on and again, right? Dude, he's already number one on the list. All right? Everyone is going to go for him already. There's no need for you to raise the price. You're just losing money at that point.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's
Because
stupid.
it doesn't look like he's convincing anyone with that. It's just
No.
like, oh, he beat more people. Let's do more money. They probably should have showed some people like, oh no.
It'd be different if he was like, I don't know, third place, and then he got to like first with increasing the price. But no, he's already first place. That's the important part. I think the fourth one might be the best sequel-ish, maybe, because partly because I got like an earlier screening of it. I used to work at a cinema, and on a big screen, and I got to watch it early, and I was really impressed. But the thing that struck me was God damn, he gets hit by a car so much, and he gets hit by a car in every single bloody movie, and it's just like,
Yeah. It just gets
and
more cars. Like in the fourth one, when he falls off, he just jumps out of a window from the third story
yeah,
and just lands on a car, and then just, oh, that's annoying. Anyway,
Mhm.
moving along.
yeah. And you reckoned? Are you excited for the fifth one?
I mean,
That's
what's it going to be
probably gonna
about? I don't even know. I mean, I'm probably going to watch it because just
it's John
because
Wick. Yeah,
because I still have to watch The Continental, which apparently no one has seen. I haven't seen anyone talk about it.
I have seen it.
Oh.
It's okay. It has some character work to it, which is
Mhm.
good. You know, more so than the John Wick sequels ever did. I don't know. It just I know some mates who found it really good, but I'm just like, meh. I'll forget about it in a week or two. You really, I didn't really see a need for it, like that dramatic need. It's okay if you like John Wick sequels and such and the world.
Mm.
I reckon people will like this show, but I don't know. I'd rather there's tons of other things I'd rather watch and that stay fresh in my mind than
Yeah.
in
I still
Continental.
have a massive backlog of things to watch.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
October always kind of puts things on hold because of all the
yeah.
spooky games we play.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially Alan Wake, or should I call it
Alan Wake 2 was very spooky. That's true.
yeah, Alan Asleep. That's what I'm gonna call
Yeah.
it because
That
I
one is.
watched like 5 minutes of your live stream playing Alan Wake, and I was just like,
Did you watch the second one or the
the
first?
second one.
Because the first one was still kind of positive-ish. I was like, oh, okay, I'm
Hmm.
kind of into this. Let's see. And then I
Hmm.
went offline, started things like, why's everybody? Why are the other people I talk to normally say it's not very good? Am I
Hmm.
am I missing something? So I kind of think was like, oh, that's not very good. That's very good. There's some more I played the next day. I was like, oh, that's not good at all. And now I'm the only one of us who's finished it. So
Wow.
I
Yeah,
soldiered through. That was a
yeah,
pain in
yeah.
the ass.
Smaller quit through it, and you persevered.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you'd agree with this take from IGN about it. Uh,
probably not.
Alan Wake 2 is arguably the best we've seen in survival horror genre since PT jumped out as decades ago and shares the same DNA as Hideo Kojima's Silent Hills. Wow, now that
I
is a
just
take.
I have a hard time even calling it horror for the most part because you have legit fear flashes from Rebirth again,
Mhm.
which in the beginning was like, oh, that might be like Scratch fucking with Wake in the beginning or whatever. It's like, no, that's just the bosses you're walking towards to. They just flash in your face. It's like, oh, cool, thanks.
Mhm.
And the more it happened, the more it was like it stopped for a second. It's like, yeah, thank you. I know my reflexes work. Very cool.
Yeah, it's like PT. Fuck you. Yeah.
PT. I never tried that.
I've heard of it. You know,
Yeah. I mean, you can't
apparently
get it
it's like the
anymore.
goat. Yeah, yeah, you can't get it. But no,
Uh,
for Halloween, I was like researching like what's the most scariest shit, best
mm,
horror games I can get my hands on to play a Halloween stream, and yeah, PT appeared quite a bit, but you can't get it
yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah. I wonder
unfortunately.
if someone put a ROM out there to play it on an emulator. I never even checked.
Yeah, there are PC versions that recreated it
Oh,
because it
okay.
initially came out on PS4, and it was in the PlayStation Store.
Hmm.
Some people still have like hard drives of the game on it, essentially,
Yeah.
and they sell
I'm
that.
pretty sure people sell those things online for
Mm,
ludicrous amounts of money.
good God. No, I don't see. I'm not sure why they took it down, but if it's so famous, so rare,
Yeah.
why not just?
I don't know. Close we ever got to. The best we've seen in a survival horror genre. I know the gameplay is even shite. Like, I don't even know. I would call it a downgrade from the first one. It's just a
Mm.
really shitty copy from Resident Evil that doesn't work in what they try to do.
Do you know when the first Alan Wake game came out?
2010, I think it was.
That's
13 years
funny.
ago. Because that gameplay
So,
was fun.
mhm.
Was pretty fun, easy to do. You could deal with hordes of enemies that they sometimes throw at you. You have like it's a poor man's resume. Yeah. There's like 2 sections where they throw lots of enemies at you, and I was playing on hard because I try to do
Understandable.
that most of the time.
Mm.
It's just not made for horde battle. Like, it was really a pain in the ass, especially because I was playing on my PlayStation, because I'm not gonna get it on the Epic Store. Fuck that. By the way, that game doesn't have a physical release either, which is bullshit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, none at all. I was like, let me pre-order this on Amazon so I can have it on release, so I can play it.
Is
Why is
it
there
true?
why is
God of
there
War didn't have a digital release. Didn't have a physical release either, or am I making that up?
That has one. I have one right here.
Okay, because oh no, it was like if you pre-order it or something, like a deluxe edition, you only got the digital version.
I have the collector's edition. I bought that after I finished the game. That has no physical copy, but you get 2 digital copies for PS4 and PS5. But you get the steelbook. Where I was like, why you give me the steelbook but not a physical copy? There's even the place to put a disc in, but they don't put a disc in there. And it's like, what's that about? I just paid $200 for this shit. I think I paid $300 because I had to get it from Jim Bob on eBay. But actually, I got it on Amazon. That was still a Jim Bob, like some Randy that sold it. But yeah, I really don't like this whole only digital release anymore.
It's creeping in.
No, I don't mean anymore. Like, I just don't like it. I was
No,
fine with it for a while until I realized, like, oh yeah, if they just take it away, I can just not play it anymore. Which, you know what? Take Alan Wake away. For me, that's fine with me. It's not like I would play that thing ever again.
Yeah. It's definitely a shame because the same company behind Alan Wake 2, I think it was Sweet Baby Inc., works behind the narrative of that game. And I remember there's as Heel Pills' babyface had a funny reaction to it. There was this box saying, "I am confident, you are strong," and stuff like that.
I still don't even know what the meaning of these boxes are. I think one of the guys in the old Folks Home in that game, they made it because they had all the ornaments that were around those boxes. So I don't even know who these are specifically for Saga or whoever finds it. I don't know. Like, one thing I read, and then Saga said, "Oh, this is like some kind of fan fiction." I was like, "What is happening? What is this? And why is there manuscripts?" I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Worked as generous, more like tempered. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, thank you for telling me that this character is strong and confident and determined. Like, Metal, you are strong and confident and
very
determined. Yes. Do you feel empowered as a character by me telling you what you exactly are? It's just like, that is not how you write.
Yeah, but he's shit though. That's the problem. Shitty detective with weird powers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that same company worked on Spider-Man 2, which may explain why the story is so shit. It is. I think there's some real good stuff to it. Kraven was easily the best thing about that game. They make him an absolute badass, and kind of, I'd compare him to Thanos in a way. In Infinity War, you kind of introduce him. He kills some Spidey villains. You know, he has a vendetta quest. Even though other people see it as kind of like a ill-minded quest, but you know, he's determined for it, nevertheless, and that's just engaging to watch. Yeah, as soon as he goes away, the game just
bye.
Yeah, and it's just tries to copy a Web of Shadows. I don't know if you've heard that game, Spider-Man Web of Shadows.
No.
I highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. It is
it's one of those games I see.
Yeah,
you can have good luck finding that game. I just recently tried to see if I can find any of the old FromSoft games like Kingsfield or Shadow Tower, because I thought it would be fun as a stream game, as an experience, because I play all the FromSoft games. Well, not all of them. I haven't played all the Armored Cores or whatever, but I was like, oh, Japanese import only mostly, and then they start at like $60. And it's like, oh, it's one of those again. I see.
Yeah, and it's just like with Web of Shadows, I don't think there'll ever be a Spider-Man game with better combat. It is just that good. Like, the voice acting, The story, they're not that great, but what redeems it overall is how fun it is to play. I could play it for hours just fighting, really, and that's what you want in the game.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man 1, it got pretty boring pretty fast. In the second one, maybe not as much. Still, I could see getting bored of it, especially the stealth.
Right.
The stealth note wasn't that great either. And what annoyed me as well was gameplay-wise, you could pause the game and skip the puzzles instantly.
Okay.
And you could also pause the game and decrease the enemy health bars and increase your damage. Like literally just cheat codes 101.
Hmm.
And you'd still get the achievements, which I
Oh,
kind
cool.
of raised my eyebrows at. And it's
Normally
just
you
like,
get locked out from those when you use cheats, but that's interesting.
no, they're essentially cheats. I don't know why you have the option to decrease people's lives. I don't know what they were thinking with that feature.
That sounds odd.
There is stuff to, even though the gameplay is improved from the first one, I still think there's stuff to criticize it with the open world and whatnot.
Right.
But no, the story is diabolically terrible. It doesn't have that same emotional climax to it as the first one, with Aunt May dying and you having to make the choice between saving all people or just her. It had nothing to it like that. It just feels kind of like towards the end, like a kid, like said, "Oh, let's give MJ a symbiote. Let's let the symbiotes invade everywhere, and it's this big baddie and villain," and it's just like it didn't feel like a, I don't know, mature way of telling the story. I just did not feel invested at all. Luckily, I did get a refund for it. I sent it back and got my money back.
So, all right.
Hey, I hope you got your money back for Alan Wake 2. Probably.
I mean, not from the company.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the first segment of the show.
And finally, the piece de resistance.
So we've already been discussing pop culture things, but yeah, this is the segment of the show where we essentially discuss what we've consumed pop culture wise in the last week or month ago. I've started to slowly listen to the Wheel of Time audiobooks. I did have like the book on me like a while back, and I kind of grew bored of it. Every time I hear someone talk about fantasy books, it's Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is in every top 10 list. I'm like, fine, I'll read it, and it's just first couple of pages. I'm bored. But I find audiobooks to be much more useful in that to listen to. You can kind of zone out a little bit sometimes, and you can still follow along what's happening. So even if you get bored, you can still carry on with it. So yeah, I'm trugging with that along. Yeah, I finished the Spider-Man 2 game, and it is just all kinds of bad. Like from a adaptation's point of view, I think it's terrible. Like you don't even have to. I don't even think I have to mention that. And from the storytelling perspective, also, I don't know what the benefit was to changing Harry to Venom. You could have literally have him be a hobgoblin, have him infect people as hobgoblins. It's just literally. I don't see the need for the change. You could have made him into any villain and have him function the same way. I don't feel like they justified that specific creative choice. Towards the end of the game, he's supposed to die. You defeat him, and then Miles just resurrects Harry, and he's in a coma, a BS coma. And then Peter decides to like take a break from being Spider-Man and gives off the reins to Spider-Man. Now, the thing I question about that, I may be biased here because I hate Miles, but I'm trying my, subjective opinions, bloody, not take my criticism. I might do a video on this one day, maybe, because it annoyed me so much. would it make more sense if Harry did die there, and because Peter had to make that choice, otherwise he'd kill the planet or whatever, and then he took a break out of his grief because he had to give up Aunt May, and now it's the same with Harry. So it'd be more understandable as to why he went on a break. They just Deus Ex Machina resurrect him with Mouse's BS lightning powers that somehow work as a to resuscitate him. It's just sloppy writing a little bit. And I know why they did that, because they want to apparently create a Venom spin-off game. So they put him in a BS coma. So that ending, that's one of the big things I think that just doesn't work for me. And yeah, I'm glad I got the refund for it. I think there's other things I could talk about gameplay wise as well. Metal, what have you consumed pop culture wise?
Lot. I've been going through the Alan Wake games. Alan Wake 1, of course, the DLCs. That was pretty fun. Gameplay gets a bit tedious after a while, especially in the normal game and the DLCs. I haven't played American Nightmare, which I kind of wish I did by now, because that sounds actually way more fun than the actual Alan Wake 2 game. But there's only so much time, I guess. I'm just going to skip that for the time being. I played Control, which is in the Alan Wake universe. That was really nice. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Oh, I didn't know it was in the Alan Wake universe. I played it for a bit. It was like free for like PlayStation Plus one time.
Yeah, there's a DLC that's specifically about Alan Wake.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
interesting.
And so yeah, that's where the FPC and whatever, that's where they are all set up. That's all from Control. It's basically the SCP Foundation, but in the Control universe. It's kind of fun. They have like objects of power, where it's like basically different SCPs that have different things that do bad stuff or good stuff or random stuff. And if like a couple of them you can just check out and have to contain. So that's kind of fun. What else? I played all the way through Lies of P. I finished that in the beginning of October. That was really nice. That was a pretty good game.
Game of the year contender is what's saying. But then again, IGN seems to want Alan Wake 2 to be game of the year as well. So
yeah. What else? Mauler and I played Lords of the Fallen. We streamed that at the same time.
How was that?
It was beginning, but it gets very tedious towards the end. You can tell that they needed more time, because there was this article or the a thread flying around from Reddit, I think, where some alleged guy who worked for the game wrote like a little thing. And the more you read it, and I played the game, it's like, I think that's real. I think that's actually a guy that worked there. Because it seems like they had to change from Unreal Engine 4 to 5 mid-development, which kind of just sounds like I don't know, some marketing guy's like, can you do the higher version? It's just an update, right? It's like, that's not how that works, but I guess they had to. I mean, it looks pretty good. The game does look good. But it gets very tedious. It didn't help that I used an advanced character, is what they marked it as, because like I played fuck ton of Souls games. I'm gonna do an advanced, which is fine, but man, it took a long time to actually get some damage going. So I was like, I should have probably used another character just to get a grip of the game. But I played, how many streams did I do? Like 3 or 4? And then the enemies started to repeat, and the enemy placement was just kind of lame. And the bosses aren't really that great. A lot of bosses that just run around as enemies later on, which is common in those games, but the amount that happens it is kind of high. So that was kind of annoying. And at some point, I reached an area. I played a little bit more offline. I got a really good spell at some point, and that just got stuck on the Tehran every time. So instead of going in a straight line, it just did one tick, and then it was over. I was like, oh, that's my main damage spell gone. I don't want to play this anymore. Didn't help that Mauler told me that the bosses are not getting any better. So that's the game I dropped this month.
2 Souls-like games, and one is much better than the other, it seems.
Yeah, Lies of P is doing very well. They reached 1 million copies sold. I was very happy to see that, because I want to see more of their stuff. That's going to be I'm looking forward to that. I hope they do DLC. I mean, they kind of teased at the end as well that just like other fantasy tales, that they're gonna do games about that. I forgot
Oh,
which
that'd be
one
awesome.
I forgot which one they teased. I forgot already. It's been doing so much in between.
Snow White with Bridge was like, well, just include her, and that'll be
No.
a boss battle.
As a boss fight.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? I mean, yeah, I started playing Sekiro again because
Mhm.
there's actually no playthrough of me online anymore because that was lost to Twitch
Okay.
because I played that before I did my archive, so that was gone. So I'm going through that right now. And that, I mean, we've been doing the EFAB movies for like Loki and whatnot.
Oh no.
So I think
I've
the
heard all
most
sorts of things about that.
the most random thing I've started watching right now that I'm enjoying is been watching just going through Netflix animes before I go to
Mhm.
sleep, and I've been watching Hajime no Ippo currently. It's
Okay.
like a boxing anime. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And when I mentioned it at some time, people were like, "Oh, that's really good." It's like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Would recommend. It's pretty fun. It's just a box. It's just about a guy starting to box and has to get better. And it's not like some power creep. He's just good.
Mhm.
He's just good at the things. He has a knack for it, but he still has to like fight like crazy in every match. So at every match, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, he might actually lose this. So it's like, oh shit, that
Yeah.
doesn't happen a lot
Stakes.
anymore. Normally, when I watch
Yeah.
something, it's like, oh, he's gonna one hit punch him and then he dies.
Yeah.
no,
Stories like that these
no
days.
mention of
No,
Ahsoka
stakes.
metal. Yeah, it doesn't get one. Fuck that show. Fuck
Uh,
Loki as well. That's why I just said we were watching and didn't go into it because that show is dog shit.
mm.
But also almost over. Thank fuck for that.
There's gonna be. I don't know when the final episode is coming out.
Next
I
week,
don't know. Next week.
Wednesday. No, Friday. Sorry,
Mm,
it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah. And I've heard like no stuff to it. Apparently, some big stuff is meant to go down in the final episode, and it's just like, oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
they pretend like it's big stuff, but they don't treat it like it is. It's
yeah,
nonsense. It's a whole bunch of nonsense is what they're creating in that show. It's
mhm.
funny. I saw some wrestler on Twitter randomly say like, "I'm enjoying Loki, but I have no fucking idea what's going on." It's like, yeah, I don't enjoy it, and I have the same feeling. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it just like feels like I think from the start, Marvel approached the whole Disney Plus series from the wrong foot. It just feels like okay, we have this website. What do we put on it? Content. Quick, let's hammer it down. Content. And at the end of the day, that's just what it feels like. Just something to put on the site.
Yeah.
No real idea of what to do for a show. It's not like they needed Disney Plus shows to tell the stories of these side characters or whatever. They don't feel necessary, to be honest. Well, maybe they are necessary to the Marvels, otherwise you won't know who Photon is or whatever.
I'm sure
Apart from
Marvel is
that,
going to be very important, like Captain Marvel was back in the day. Very
yeah,
important show.
I guess you kind of had to
That
watch
movie.
WandaVision to understand Multiverse of Madness, but it's just like, does anyone
I haven't
really?
seen WandaVision, and it doesn't really make a difference. There's so little in there, from what I understand. She barely talks about Vision, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Because there was like the whole thing, I think, in WandaVision that she has the family back.
Yeah, it's just those kids. All right, I'm not gonna mention my dead brother Quicksilver. I'm not gonna mention
Yeah.
Vision. No, just those imaginary kids that I made up. I'm gonna have a complete murderous rampage over them. It's just like, oh, that makes sense. Now, it was a thing in the comics, but in the comics, it's done better. The thing is, like, they didn't do anything with that plot point. Like, there's no substance to it. Like, what are these kids? Did she make them up? Did she imagine them? And it's just like, all right, then she do a deal with the devil and then get these kids with like the souls on. But what? It's just no sense to it whatsoever. She just made them up and then wants them from another multiverse. They're completely nonsensical. It's just pulled out of thin air. And because it's pulled out from thin air, we can't really connect to it. Not to any standard. But yeah, with us talking now about all things Marvel, I suppose it'd be a good time to get to the juicy news of the article that came out today. So with that, let's get to the news segment. So, a huge bombshell arrived for the MCU, and it's just that image just makes me laugh. It's just good God, you could not draw that picture any better, and it's so surprising because all of the fellowship on YouTube, we've criticized Marvel for what feels like decades, and it's just like, oh, this article has arrived and has been saying exactly what the YouTube sphere has been saying.
It's caught on. It only took you like 10 years, but you did it.
Wow, like congrats, guys! Like excellent journalism integrity. I just bet that I don't know, like the shill money ran out at Marvel. Like, damn it, we can't pay off the mainstream media to talk good about us anymore. What do we do? Just ignore them, all right? They'll lick our boots anyway. I was just like, nope.
Damn it.
We're dropping this article. It's like, they've had this article written somewhere and they're gonna like drop it in case of emergency or
just had it in the drawer. It's like, now's the time.
Yeah, it just surprises me. It's weird timing. Why now? That'd be my only question. Like none of the issues in this article surprise me whatsoever. But
nope.
The most interesting question is why on earth are you doing this now? It's like the sharks smell the blood from the MCU, and they're getting closer. Several things there's been in this article. Like I know there was a thing that annoyed the hell out of me, but the very successful She-Hulk show.
God.
And this one, I'm struggling to process it. I'm even struggling for words. All the while, Marvel was bleeding money with a single episode of She-Hulk costing $25 million, dwarfing the budget of a final season episode of HBO Game of Thrones. Now, if you just take that in for a second, Game of Thrones, final season, the most popular TV show on planet Earth, with all these budgets, and then you spent that kind of money on She-Hulk. Out of all the things, that is just ludicrous, insane.
Well, if you spent that money on a shitty writer, not giving the VFX people enough time to do it, and shitty anything, you can spend as much money as you want. It's just gonna end up badly. Like when I think there was an interview about the lady who did this. I already forgot her name.
Victoria Alonso?
Could be. I know that she's like, oh yeah, doing all these courtroom things is really hard. We actually didn't really know how to do it. I was like,
oh no, I think that was the showrunner. Yeah. I can't remember her name. Yeah.
And I was baffled by that as well. And then whoever did the interview didn't catch on to that, I think, and just went along. It's like, no. Ask them how they solved that problem, because apparently they didn't. I've seen the show. They clearly didn't solve that problem.
No,
just kind of grazed over. Just like, God, that explains so much. It's like,
no, it's just like She-Hulk is one of the more popular female characters in Marvel.
Yeah,
and the fact that they just
I don't know shit about comic books.
yeah, and the fact that they just thought, it's just a like they themselves just thought, it's just a female version of Hulk. We'll just give it to anyone. Really, we'll just get these writers who can't even write a court drama out of all things, and She-Hulk might be kind of a hard thing to sell for a MCU audience that is invested into stuff like Infinity War. So they expect kind of more action and drama. They might not care too much about like a day-to-day life of a regular lawyer turned She-Hulk, but you can do it well, I think, if you just get the right writer, because I think it's not the most simple of shows to write, especially with a writer who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But
yeah, I
with that
understand
budget.
the Daredevil ones, I
Mhm.
think the Netflix ones. I think that they had like really good
Mhm.
courtroom scenes, from what I understand. I think Fringy always says how solid that is. I still haven't seen it. I need to do that at some point. Makes you wonder, like, you had one who made that kind of stuff. Well,
Mhm.
not they had, like Netflix had it. It's like, can you like
Mhm.
get hold of that guy or someone else who might have done something similar in the past? At least it's someone to talk to as an advisor, like something.
Oh, definitely.
For the love of God, don't let her go to interviews and tell her, we didn't know she like this. Like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, good job.
Oh, and it's just like for the final episode, their best idea was, she meets the robot that writes the MCU movies, and it's kind of like a fourth. Yeah, I know she hope like fourth wall breaks sometimes, but it's just like that's it. That's all you have, just a
Yeah.
gimmick. And it's just like people are clapping like this. Oh, that was fantastic! It is. That's just the initial idea. You actually need legs for it to walk.
Exactly.
I don't even know how to say that, but it's just no. To me, it's ludicrous to spend that much money on a show that might be difficult to write, might be difficult to sell to your already established audience. And to spend that much money on it, no, it should have been a small budget show with writers who knew what they were doing, and then gradually develop her and make her part of some teams and whatnot. Because She-Hulk is a little less about superheroing and more day to day of lawyer stuff, of trying to help all these little superheroes, and it's She-Hulk would definitely work as something of a world building show, and it helps structure the MCU a little, of like,
Mhm.
okay, there's this destructions in this New York. How do lawyers, how do politicians, how does everyone handle this mess after superhero battles? And it'd go a long way to reinforce some uh world building. But no, they didn't do that. Let's have our fourth wall break Kevin robot. That's all they did with it, really.
Well, it's so annoying because they pretend like they've done something with this. Like,
Mhm.
oh, we have this new segment in our law firm that is only superhero things. It's like, okay, that's something you could do. And then they just have courtroom scenes and pretend like everything is going fine. It's like, no, you need to take this in your hand and have a big old think, because you have to restructure everything you know about law at this point.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, what happens if it's like the simplest thing you could think of. Oh, I'm a random thug. I'm gonna stab this person over there because I want their wallet.
Mhm.
Oh damn, it's a Superman person. My knife broke and now he punched me in the face and my neck is broken. I'm paralyzed from down low. How do you,
How's
how
that
do you
handled?
do that in the law? Is that too much? Like, is
Mhm.
the super person like not in the wrong, but is this, I don't know what you call it when you defend yourself too much. I think there's a
Like,
proper
yeah,
term for it.
extreme self-defense or something like
Yeah,
that,
is it
maybe.
extreme self-defense, or is that just because he's that strong? Like,
Mm.
that's like a
But
whole
it's like,
restructure you can
yeah,
play with.
and they didn't intend to, really harm them. I mean, they're the ones that put the knife, so it's just like, whose fault is it? Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's something it'd be worthy to explore. But no, it needs someone with a brain to
But I'm
do
glad they made sure that they said the Sokovia Accords, they're gone now. It's like, why?
that. Yeah,
And why
let's
do you
let's
just
get rid
say
of.
it in one sentence? As far as I remember,
Uh,
the whole world was on board with those accords. And now
yep,
it's like, oh no, we got rid of those. It's like, okay.
yep, yep, yep. Now, one of the first things this article goes over is the problem with Kang. You've probably
Right.
seen him in Loki. I don't suppose he's any good in that.
I mean,
I,
he's got
I,
nothing to work with.
no, I
I mean,
feel
he's a
sorry for the actor mages.
I'm sorry for all the actors and actresses in those show because they're all pretty good. They're all basically good. Like
No,
Tom
Tom
Hiddleston is
Hiddleston.
acting his
Yeah.
ass off in that show. I was like, yeah, but it's dog shit. I'm so sorry that he has to do this.
No,
He's so good.
I do think Mages is a good actor. I mean, I watched
Yeah.
Creed 3, and I thought he was good in that. You know, definitely. He has some potential, but he has nothing to work with here. And Molo keeps laughing at it. It's like him being a professional clown and everything. It's just
They made such a big deal of that when they
Mhm.
in Loki season 1, I think it was. Yeah, now we can do all this random shit here. It's like, yeah, cool.
uh,
But your writing is still ass. So
the thing about Kang, like it's what Critical Drinker said, that it definitely has a point to it, that there being multiple versions of him having like a really vague motivation. I mean, good job on translating him from the comics, because I think in the comics he's also not too good. He's convoluted,
Okay.
it's kind of multiple people of him, multiple versions, and it's just like, I don't understand this villain. Like, in Thanos, say what you will, but he just wants to kill people, and it's this very evil motivation for it. And it's just like, okay, I can maybe somewhat understand, and I can definitely give him a thumbs up for trying. He's determined.
Was shown as like this threatening aura of the
Mhm.
first phases. Kang, we've seen beaten by ants.
Mhm. Communist ants.
Communist
Well,
ants, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
He
God.
gets spaghetti fight in Loki season 2.
Oh, that's
At least
nice.
at least for a bit.
Like Mr. Fantastic.
It looks very similar, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Wait, I'm thinking there was a third one. I forgot which one.
Loki season 1.
Oh yeah, he gets
Right?
stabbed to death.
Because
Yeah, you're
he
right.
gets stabbed. Yeah.
For
That's
some
great.
reason they call him the one that remains in that show and not Kang. I don't know.
That's a weird title. I mean, there is like a god in the MCU, and he's called the One Above All.
Mm.
Maybe that's something to do with that title, and the One Who Remains. Maybe they're all like poetic and Shakespearean. It's kind of silly.
I know, but that's what but yeah, he gets beaten up like
Mm.
every time, so I don't know. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure what we're going for in Loki season 2 at the end, which is next week, so probably
Yeah.
gonna be some kind of reason that he gets angry, and that's how they created Kang or something, and it was Loki's fault or whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it says here like, oh, we plan to replace him with Doctor Doom, and I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, on paper that sounds great, but it's just like, if you can't pull off with a good actor Kang off,
Mm.
what chances do you have with Doom? And Doom, I would say, is arguably the best villain in Marvel.
I don't even know anything about him, so I just wonder how they would
Yeah.
get in like a new overbearing threat somehow. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
It would just be weird. Not that
I
they
mean-
have a connection right now. It's
Mhm.
all random anyway.
Darth Vader himself was inspired by Doctor Doom.
Oh,
He's that big of
I
a
see.
character.
Oh, it's a guy with the green
Mhm.
hood. Oh, yeah. Visually, I remember him, but I don't know what his
Mhm.
deal is. Basically,
He's a Fantastic Four villain, and he's kind of like a king of a country called Latveria. So he has like an Iron Man suit, and he knows a bit of magic as well. So he's kind of
Okay.
like a Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And he's very egotistical. He kind of builds statues of himself, but he's also like kind of a good leader. He runs the Latveria country very, very well. I think I'd recommend highly. Have you heard of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes? It's like an animated show.
I think I heard the name, but I haven't seen it.
It is fantastic.
Okay.
And I'd love to see a Avengers storyline based on that show. It just introduces you to all villains like Loki. Like there's one episode with Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
What episodes with Ultron, and I freaking love Ultron as well in that show. Because I grew up where there weren't a lot of comics in Poland, and then I moved to England, and there weren't comics anywhere there. So I just grew up on animated TV shows and movies and whatnot, and then I eventually got into the comics. So all of my knowledge, all my fondness comes from those shows. And no, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is peak. I absolutely love that show.
Nice.
But yeah, Doctor Doom is arguably the greatest villain of all time. I don't think they're gonna pull up. They're just dropping names because they know they have it has like meaning to it, and it's just like, yeah,
Right.
sure, we'll do this one, and it's just like, how well will you do him? I don't know, it's just all
Yeah. Obviously, they have a
words
movie
salad.
already announced that's called Kang Dynasty. So I guess they have to
Yeah.
change it to Doom Dynasty or something. I don't know.
I don't reckon they're gonna have to stick with Kang. I imagine if they want to do Doom, they might do him in Secret Wars because I'm pretty sure, depending on which version of Secret Wars you do, Doctor Doom was involved in that a lot. But it remains to be seen. I don't trust them with Doctor Doom at all.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
they don't have any. They don't. It's just so annoying to think about. Like, yeah, if they even throw it in right now randomly, like it's not going to change anything because it's not like any of the shows that properly connected as anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's missing since the last phases ended. Like the Thanos thing is gone, and now we just have these random stories that are all piss. And I don't know how they're going to connect them. You're going to have an Avengers movie in 2025. So like, who's going to be in that?
Yeah, look at this. That's your roster right there of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So you've got Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. Yeah, sure. It's just like I recognize no one from this. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Is that Loki in the middle? I think it is.
Yeah, it's Loki, and it's just
Yeah,
like
I hope it's not the
I don't-
Loki we have in Loki now because
Oh god,
they just
I
turned
reckon
him
they
to
might-
a good guy. That's 2012 Loki, like the real
Yeah.
evil Loki. And he's like,
Mhm.
he says in Loki, he says like, I miss my friends. I want to get my friends back. It's like, what is happening? You were like the cunning evil one, and you did not give me any reason why that changed.
Mm.
You just pretend like you did. It's just, it's so annoying.
It's flimsy. It's like they don't have care in the world. Don't worry, the Marvels will fix everything. Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
this article mentions that as well.
That's funny. I forgot
yeah.
that's like this coming week on the
It is in
weekend or something.
5 days.
5 days. I'm not
5
even around to
days.
watch it. Like, I have a friend over because it's his birthday, so he's gonna hang out over the weekend. I was gonna wait for the EFAP boys to watch it, and they're gonna tell me, is it gonna be any fun to talk about this on Metal's Forge or anything? It's probably not gonna be the case. So I might just gonna watch it, and then it's like, yeah, I've seen it, and there it is. Like, from what I've seen in those trailers and clips, like, this looks piss. But I think
can't wait for it.
the article goes through that as well, how it was like rewritten like 1800 times or whatever. I don't know.
And the director left like a couple of months early into production.
Right, yeah.
To do her own show with I can't remember what's her name in Creed. She was the girlfriend and played Valkyrie. Yeah, that actress. She went to do a show with her as the lead. I mean, I don't blame her for leaving early. Like, it's a Marvel movie. You're essentially cast as an actor to do this movie. You name only, really, and then you just go on your merry way to do other.
Yeah,
movies.
but it's still a weird thing. I mean, it's probably in the place now that she can't even do anything anymore anyway. But imagine Tarantino just leaving 5 months before it's done. Like, isn't that a weird thing to think about? It's just odd.
That it can't function without a director. That's just troubling.
Yeah.
Not a while back, we've had like the bombshell on the Daredevil news as well, that they fired the writers and the directors and hired new ones, which don't fill me with the best optimism. There was one with the Punisher. Showrunner. Fringy might disagree with me on this, but I don't think the first season of Punisher was that good. And the second one, but I think everyone would agree that it's not so good. It's just, I reckon Punisher was a bit of a letdown in terms of a show. The first one is maybe okay, but it's much more focused on Frank Castle, the military man. It doesn't really don that Punisher.
Right. I think I've seen that Punisher movie like 12 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I like them. They're good fun. Very much.
It just starts with all of his family dying and then just goes on a rampage. I think that's basically what happened in that movie. I don't know.
What you do is just John Wick the Punisher movie.
Yeah.
It's got the formula right there. It'd be so damn easy to do. And I just reckon that it focused too much on Frank Castle, and he only has like the suit of the skull in the last few scenes, really, which is such a shame because Punisher, good God, that's such an interesting character to do. There's many ways to take them. Like, you can do him like a crazy guy, murdering everyone, going on a rampage. But I think I much prefer like a Punisher who's very strategic, focused, determined, kind of relaxed. I think like modern writers are kind of scared of Punisher, and they kind of want him to be a madman because what he's doing is wrong, and it's just like not entirely. I definitely feel like I'd like to see a much more focused and chilled out Punisher rather than a crazy one.
Right.
But that's just my 2 cents on it. But I'm forgetting the other guy that replaced the Daredevil writers. They didn't have an impressive track record, so they replaced originally Daredevil Born Again. The original writers were the guys who wrote Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito. That's the most popular thing they wrote, and a cancelled Spy movie. And it's just like, no wonder your shows are a piece of shit. You're hiring absolute nobodies who wrote.
That's more than nothing. Some other writers in Disney, though. I was on one show of Rick and Morty. I wrote 2 sentences. Okay, you got She-Hulk or whatever. I don't know. You get to here is $250 million. Have fun.
It's just like Daredevil, one of your best written shows ever in Marvel history, and you give it to freaking Danny DeVito Christmas movie writers. What, are you insane? It's just no wonder they got fired. Like, I'm glad they got fired, but they didn't replace them with anyone special. I'm not optimistic about that show either. And it's funny how this timeline works because we hear about the Daredevil news and everyone being fired, and now this little article, and I don't know where they mentioned it, but they also mentioned Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, because they're trying to get the band back together. It's like, wow, you're really, really desperate.
No, I'm pretty sure like Mole and Riga said this, like, when is Marvel gonna get really desperate? And yeah, they just pinpointed it. Like, they're gonna get desperate when it's Robert Downey Jr.
I've seen a tweet today where apparently he agreed to come back if it happens. Which is like, don't. They're gonna ruin your character. Because you can get as many of the old people together that everybody likes, that I like, because their characters were mostly kept intact. But if the writing's still gonna be ass, you can do whatever you want. You can bring back Jesus Christ or the Pope, and you're gonna ruin them or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just, as long as you don't have anyone who can write a proper story and won't even bother to watch what came before it, like, what is the point? Also, what are you going to do? Are you just going to revive them so they're back, which they can't do because they don't give a shit, and they have multiverse now and time travel, so they're going to make something up.
They said like Scarlett Johansson might be back as well. She'd need a big salary because she was involved in a lawsuit.
Yes,
with Marvel over the whole Black Widow movie, so it's just like, you're gonna have to pay her double what RDJ just to compensate.
Pinky promise it goes to the cinemas this time or whatever. God, Black Widow, God. What a shit movie that was too. Jesus,
what a waste. You'd think they'd do something good with it because finally a Black Widow movie. Not
Isn't it crazy that Hulk is still around and we still haven't gotten another movie with him? The only thing we did with him is ruin him in She-Hulk.
Yep.
And make him dab in Endgame.
Don't remind me of that. I've got Hulk behind me here. Yeah. And it's just like
oh yeah, I'm smart Hulk now. I can have him under control. It's like, oh, how did you do that? That sounds really interesting. There must have been a struggle. No, we never talk about that.
They do have the rights to him now. I think the full rights. And they can make a movie with him now because
fucking do something.
Paramount,
with it.
Yeah. Well, he has a son now. He has a son with a stupid ass haircut.
Oh shit, that happened.
Yeah.
That fucking goober.
Yeah, they just dropped that
Jesus.
in. Like, it is just so funny how they just popped it out of the blue there.
Crazy. Looked
It's
so
just
shit as
like,
well. I remember that looked awful as well when he appeared.
yep, and it's they skipped over like the Planet Hulk storyline completely, and it's like doing like Infinity War, and the Avengers just sit around there, maybe Ian Schwarmer, and it's just like, by the way, guys, here at the end, Thanos snapped his fingers and dusted everyone. If you didn't know, all happened off screen, really,
Mhm.
but it's kind of pulling something like that, something completely ludicrous. Um, the whole story behind there, where Hulk essentially gets exiled, forced into the arena pits, which is why I have like mixed feelings on Ragnarok. I understand that it has some good moments to it, but I think they kind of didn't use Hulk to his full potential. With
Mm.
that story of
That's
him
why,
being
because I
sentenced.
actually know about the Planet Hulk stuff. I think I read that randomly at some point. I don't know.
Mhm.
Where he just basically forms this team and just goes back to Earth, and that's like World War Hulk. I think is that what it leads into.
Yeah.
And like he just fucking destroys everything. I think.
Why would
Uh,
this Hulk want to destroy the world? That's what I don't get. That's, I think, what they're aiming for, World War Hulk, and it's just like, that's nonsensical from where Hulk is standing right now. Like, what, you're gonna kill off his son? Maybe, yeah. What's
yeah,
the plan here that we barely know?
it's gonna
It's
be
just
weird.
like, you're at point Z. How do you get a point B or whatever? It's just
Yeah,
dramatically off.
when they did the time skip in Endgame, it's like, oh, okay, we're doing that. Oh, Hulk has control over his Hulk powers now. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he kill the Hulk persona? Is he still in there? Is he just fucking vibing out, watching Netflix? I don't know. What is? How did that even work?
No,
Yeah, I
it's
don't know. That's
it's all
bollocks.
stupid. And yeah, RDJ, Scout, doesn't matter who they bring back, as long as you said, the writing isn't up to par.
Yeah.
Then nothing's gonna come out of it, really. I do find it interesting though that they're just, all right. These new characters, these new Disney Plus shows, they're not working. We need the classic back actors.
I
It's
can't
just like,
believe all these unlikable characters don't work. That's crazy.
it is the ultimate sign of defeat when they've bring them back. And I remember Robert Downey Jr. was on Joe Rogan, and RDJ said, like, if I come back, wouldn't you just think that I'd be just like, oh, he's doing it again for the money, like, when will this end? And Joe like responds to him in like a hilarious manner. No, here's what I think. It's like, Marvel's gonna do a couple of shit movies, and then they're gonna turn to you. And he predicted that, like, nothing else. It's just
That's
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just they're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, yeah, you like RDJ, right? You like Staccato.
Yeah.
That'll bring you back. Will it though? It might not. So
Need to get the people back in. They need to give them something to latch onto, because now we just have some random shows where things happen. We have Black Panther 2. That was just a mess. It's like, here is Ironheart. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I
She built
have
an Iron Man suit while in school in a garage somewhere. Okay. Cool.
That's great. Yeah, cool. Everyone, every woman is like technologically advanced. Like, I've seen this trope like 100 times. Like, every girl in STEM is just like super advanced with technology. You've got Cassie, you've got Shuri from Black Panther, you have Ironheart. I'm probably missing a fourth somewhere there. Like, everyone knows their tech, and it's just like, is everyone Tony Stark now? What the hell did I miss? Was there like
No,
a free
here's the problem.
college course of engineering?
They look like it kind of looks like they're better than Tony Stark, because Tony Stark in Iron Man 1 had to work really hard to get the actual Iron Man suit
Yeah.
to go, with all the resources, with all the knowledge, with being a full-grown adult and having all these projects under his belt. Like, we see a montage of him failing over and over again until it actually finally works.
Yep.
And then some of these characters just appear and go like, I built this. How? I don't know. It's right here. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and they wonder why we don't connect with these characters. It's just it's guys, it's really easy to see what you're doing wrong. I don't know why this is a surprise to anyone, and that's why I think this article is missing. Like, it's like they're reporting on some unfound truth that it's never been seen before. It's just like, no,
Yeah.
guys, we've seen this
Because we can't
we've
even
seen
put this in
Vancouver.
this cycle of honeymoon phase, and then 2 weeks later, actually not that great. Like because this talks about how like all the way back to Endgame, I think where they say it was at its peak, which I would say is like probably not. But yeah, I think even with this being a pretty significant bombshell, as you've been calling it, I think they're still too nice. I think
Yeah.
this-
Yeah, but it's
Like,
nice to know that they're on the razor's edge now,
yeah,
both in the mainstream and from the audience.
yeah. Maybe looking at it like the last couple of years, always like it's always going to be like, no, it's pretty good. You guys are wrong. This is not bad. And then somewhere down the line, be it 2 weeks, 2 months, a year, it's like, actually, it's not very good. It's like, okay, fucking apologize to us, you fuckers. Stop giving us a hard time.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, they have to do something now. Like, they're surrounded from all sides. Like, if the mainstream media of all things is being somewhat mean to them, like that's when okay, they're probably completely on fire behind the scenes. Shit's going down. And speaking of fire dumb stuff, we've got this little trailer that came out. Now, I might get copyright struck from it. I think Disney is somewhat lenient with this, but you know what? We'll give it a go anyway. I thought we could EFAP.
Oh,
this
the echo.
little
Okay,
thing.
yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I was like, okay.
My initial reaction was like, okay, doesn't look horrendous, but I was like, hang on, Moon Knight didn't look horrendous to me. I was very interested in Moon Knight, and that was a piece of shit. So
Secret Invasion looked like it could be good, and that was fucking trash. So now I see this and see people's like, this looks kind of dark and things like, yeah, but whatever. The other ones, it's just,
yeah.
We'll see. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm not hopeful.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, God help you. Let's get through this little thing. I mean, it's. I think they're dropping it all at once, which is interesting.
Yeah, in January it's all of once. Like, oh, stop doing that.
Yep.
I don't want to watch all of it at once.
It just endures the pain. At least it's like, you can get it over with, I suppose. So
Maya.
how do you know that he's bullying you? I guess.
I see everything that you are.
Obviously, we've got Vincent D'Onofrio. His iconic white suit.
Have.
Okay. Instantly, I can just say from here, why are you doing this in public? I think Kingpin would send someone to do this and beat the shit out of him. But
he's very angry, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you're gonna have to kill a couple of witnesses to pull this off. I mean, look, there is no one around anywhere now.
Go deeper into the alley.
Yeah. Just in case, you never know.
Also, yes, chat. This is Echo. This
is Echo. Yeah. And I doubt chat even knows what Echo is. Like, it was in a Hawkeye
I sure don't. I watched the trailer. I still don't know what it is.
And it's funny that the first thing we see in this trailer is someone we recognize. Someone who the audience loves. It's Kingpin.
Yeah.
I find that funny. It's not Echo. Title of the show. It's listen thing. Yeah, I remember Kingpin.
Rude.
Yeah. It's just like good sound effects. Oh no, we're seeing blood and it's tainting his suit.
Whoa.
Yeah, oh my god.
Blood in my Marvel show, this might be for 16 and above.
Okay. Here's something my friend Uber Geek pointed out. Mel, take a look at this. Make America skate again. Now, what could that be a reference to?
No.
I can tell you what it's a reference to. It's a mental illness called TDF. That is just like, good God. Like, how did I miss that? And it's just
Guys,
like,
he's not in office anymore. You could stop now.
that is just a giant red flag, like, waving in there. It's just like, good God.
That's funny, though. I think that's funny.
No, it's and that hit my hopes for the show. You know, people keep saying to me like, "Oh, this might be the Andor of the MCU shows," and I see that. I'm like, maybe not. You know. Copyright, quick, play Ocean Man.
Ocean Man.
I did do that for one of my meme videos on the channel, and it didn't register. So I'm afraid to say Ocean Man does not avoid. Like it'd be good if people like enjoyed Ocean Man. It's just like, you know what, we won't copyright strike this guy just because he likes that song so much. That'd be nice. And
Oh, man, going straight through a brick wall? Is she
Yeah.
that strong? I don't know what her powers are.
Her powers are she's like Taskmaster. She can copy moves that she sees.
Yeah, but they don't do that because
they don't do that.
Apparently lame or something. I don't know.
Like, I don't think Taskmaster did that really in Black Widow. Am I wrong?
No. I mean, they pretended to, but they didn't really do a great job with that. Maybe they just can't do it because they don't. Yeah, just don't have the talent. I don't know.
It's annoying. It's really annoying. I don't know why. Aidan Paladin's a great fan of Echo and Daredevil because, you know, she seems to have an interesting design. She's deaf. She's not an amputee in the comics, which is why did you make her an amputee in here? What does that add to her? I don't know. Maybe an ESG checklist. You know, make her crippled. Why? That's just unnecessary, right there.
I have money for one character. We need to need both.
Yeah, it's just silly to me. It's just silly. But yeah, what ways to not give her those powers. We have car crashing and the leg.
Was that someone else maybe with the leg? I don't know.
Wasn't he in the Daredevil show, or am I making that up?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, chat. If you know, remind me. I reckon he was in some sort of Netflix show beforehand, but I'm not entirely sure. Mimicry is not peak fire.
It's not peak fire, bro.
I think that's a reference to that Marvel show that Ethan was covering. Like, he was saying peak fire and all this language of the young guys. I'm like, I am so sorry for my generation and the way they speak. I humbly apologize in advance. Body's on fire.
Oh my god.
That you kept contained it.
No bad deed. Disco ball. I think there's some sort of frame where Daredevil is, so let's keep an eye out.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's so brutal. You know, this guy shot
it.
him. Oh, I've seen like Twitter clips of that. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's so brutal. MCU has never done this before. You know what was brutal? Well, Kevin Feige said Moon Knight was going to be brutal. You know, mainstream media said Moon Knight was going to be brutal. Where was the brutality of Moon Knight? It was brutal light. That's what it was. So call me not optimistic for this to be brutal, you know.
I'm just in general, I'm not optimistic. It's just, I don't know.
And it's one thing to just include blood in your show. It's one thing to write it well. You know, there's a lot of horror movies out there that just are a gore fest and they're written like shit. So just because there's a little blood in it, I'm not impressed by that. You're gonna need to do some work.
Exactly.
And more bodies, and yeah, he used those kind of sheets in season 3.
Okay.
that's a bit of an interesting tidbit that you use like cleanup eventually. Oh, there we go. There's the devil.
Oh, Daredevil. He did a little
Yep.
Jumpenheimers. Little flippy do.
And I think that's just Echo just throwing him around like a ragdoll. Great. Can't wait for Daredevil to be treated like shit in here, just like in She-Hulk.
What do you mean? He was
wait.
treated great and she. Oh no, wait. It wasn't. That was a high jump.
Yeah, on one leg
You
as
and
well.
I are the same.
I like this shot, just hand holding, that's a nice shot. I can compliment that. Okay, this is stupid. Because he got shot in the head in Hawkeye.
Okay. Wait, what?
He got shot in the head by Echo in Hawkeye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now this is probably, after that shot.
Well, I guess he's fine. He looks good for being
the
shot in the
tis-
head.
Yeah. I mean, tis but a scratch, I mean, it's not like the bullet went through his brain or anything. Like, I don't even know how that works. What if a bullet goes through your eye? Does that go through your brain?
I mean, my guess would have been he would have been stabbed with a lightsaber through his head because that doesn't do anything either.
I understood that, bro. It's. I have no idea how he's still alive. None whatsoever.
I mean, I'm just wondering how Echo is still alive. If he's still alive, I mean, she's probably wouldn't she be like hunted by everybody? I mean, I remember Kickbit as being like this crazy mobster. If you disrespect him, he's gonna destroy you, basically.
I mean, it shot him in the head. It's like, what do you think he will do to you if he survives? You
a lot of good things.
You could have shot him twice in the head. I don't know.
Maybe they're going for the angst, like you're like a daughter to me, and that's why I'm not doing anything or whatever. And I'm just guessing here. I don't fucking know. It's not gonna be good.
Who's the monster? It's me or you, and blah blah blah. Yeah.
All episodes.
I read this first comment that absolutely nailed it. The trailer is carried by one of the most beloved villains from the Netflix adaptation and distracts the viewer with gratuitous violence. I will absolutely not say we're back till the episode actually comes out. Now that
based
right there.
Not
Are you excited for Echo, Mel?
No.
Do you think this is the comeback? This is the Andor of the MCU shows?
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be really amazing and cool, and they're gonna. No, it's gonna be balls. I don't care.
Great. It's just, I very much so doubt it. I very much so doubt it.
I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong. I like good media, so if you prove me wrong, go ahead. I'll watch good media. I like watching good media, but with the current track record, I'm not hopeful.
Yeah, just a scratch,
bro.
Yeah, it's definitely just a scratch. Who's the monster? You good man. Yeah. So Echo, I guess I won't be watching that. I don't know. I'm mixed. It's a cool trailer.
Maybe I'll get
those
dragged
atmosphere.
into the EFAB dungeons or whatever. I don't know.
EFAB dungeons. Metal, come watch this. Another Marvel show, Metal.
Yeah. January. You're
Leave me
still on
alone.
vacation, Metal, right? It's like, yeah.
It's just funny.
I wonder if it's gonna be another shit movie Mauler's gonna make me watch when I'm going to visit again. Last time was Glass Onion.
Oh, I don't envy you then. I really don't envy
You made me watch that twice. Because we watched it randomly, and I was like, oh, this is really bad. We're gonna do an EFAP about this. It's like, oh, damn it.
Oh no, that is pain.
And I think he watched it like 3 times or whatever.
Oh, that I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry to. I guess this is the life of a YouTuber to cover bad media. So you watch it so others don't have to. Really.
Yeah,
So
I guess so.
That's the sacrifice. Anyway, that was the news topic for the day. let's get on to the final segment of the show.
Whoa.
Okay, so welcome to Pitch Me a Story, where each of us gets to pitch a short story, but the story is determined by the almighty three wheels.
The
We
three
have
wheels.
genre, franchise wheel, and the final wheel, the ESG wheel. Very important wheel because all freaking game studios and movies seem to use it. I don't know. I guess it just gets them that bit of money to fill out the checklist of the ESG. But you know,
Nice.
I mean, if they use it, we kind of have to on the ESG wheel. Yes,
Nah.
I reckon writers actually use this method of just okay, what do we write? All right, which IP? Yep, and it's just like throwing darts on the wall and seeing what sticks. I reckon the writers actually use this method of writing stories. Anyway, so I'll spin the wheels for you. I don't know if maybe it would be a good idea to write them down. And once I spin the wheel for both me and you, I'll play like a timer with
Alright.
some music to it, and we can just write along, think up of some ideas to pitch. And yeah, once the timer ends, then we can just both pitch stories. Okay, so Metal,
Yes.
your genre is
Oh.
horror.
Ah, but Spooky Month is over. Never truly over.
Halloween dies when I say it ends. Okay, so next wheel is your franchise. These are some of the biggest ones I could, I guess, think of. I think Pokemon is surprisingly up there. Makes sense. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, Harry Potter. I tend to get Harry Potter a lot, which is weird. I don't know too much about Harry Potter, even though I've read the books ages ago. But anyway, your franchise is well, that's very topical.
Kind of low-key hoping for Pokemon because that would have been easy.
Yeah, a horror story about Pokemon. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Just look at the Pokedex, and there's a lot of horror stories in there already.
Oh, okay.
That's some terrifying Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. So your ESG mandatory checklist.
Oh my god!
Is...
All right.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I mean, horror and teen drama goes
like,
hand in hand.
Racism, LGBT, and feminism are all kind of similar. They just have like marginalized groups. You know, you've got oppressor and oppressed. That's all it really comes down to, really. You don't have to make it a teen drama. I just thought, okay, all LGBT stuff is in teen drama. I'd throw that in. But it's got to include any gay character and a meanie person that doesn't like them for it. It's really typical. Fat body positivity, that is usually in commercials that I see of. I don't tend to see it a lot in movies. Maybe in Loki, you know, where one of the cops is just like obese, and I don't know how they got their job as a security guard, but you know, there's that element to it as well. Okay, so my genre is fantasy sci-fi. Oh, yippee.
Skeefy. Be careful, Moodle, whatever you come out with may actually come true.
Yeah.
Listening out, everyone is like, someone's gonna have a good story somewhere. God damn it.
Not Harry Potter, please. Oh, thank God. Star Wars. Okay, that makes sense. Sci-fi, and then Star Wars. That makes complete sense. I can do it. That yeah. Sci-fi and then Star Wars. Okay, now my ESG score is. All right, what's it gonna be? I get racism a lot. Like, oh, is it gonna be the same?
Oh,
good
boy.
God. I guess we both have very, very gay stories. The gay stories. Oh no. Oh great. Why isn't the black section the racism one? I should have done that.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, let me play the countdown. Okay, I'll stop sharing a screen. Doo-doo-doo. There we go. I guess like 3 minutes should be good enough. I suppose we don't need too much time. It's only a short story.
Yeah.
All right, let me play some music. Let me know if it's a robot thing, because sometimes the connection is just like terrible. All right, ready, set, go.
Whoa.
Get to pitching the story. Okay, so both writing with the same ESG score. That's a rarity for this show. All right. I reckon I should make it some sort of like an alien gay couple. That'd be good.
That's way too creative on Marvel. Oh wait, you don't have Marvel. Never mind.
You can still make yours aliens too, I mean, there's the same umbrella. We could cross over. I know it's a spin-off. Mine's a spin-off of yours. Star Wars. Okay, let me think about this. It's always difficult to come up with endings. Okay. Crap! I'm forgetting the planet. What's the Ewok planet called? No, not the Ewok. The Chewbacca planet. Ah, damn it! I forgot. The planet. Yes, that's what it was. David. Okay, I think I've got the perfect target demographic for my movie. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's all going along smoothly. I've got the perfect. Okay. Okay, how much time do I have left? Oh, it's already 0. I didn't look at the time.
Oh.
Alrighty. Let me pause the music and take this away. Okay. Would you like to go first, or shall I?
As you wish. I don't really mind either way.
All right. All right. I think I've actually got a good idea that I could actually see taking place. So I've got two gay Chewbaccas. I don't know what the race is called, right? And it's going to be a target demographic of furries. I think they'll really enjoy this.
Chat, listen up. That might be one for you.
So the Empire invades Kashyyyk, the Chewbacca planet. I'm just calling it Chewbacca planet because I don't know what the race is called. I forget. But this gay couple is imprisoned in a cell and treated very poorly, made fun of because they hold hands and whatnot and bullied. It's just really unfair, But once the Empire has invaded all the planet, taken over, they're quite bored, they don't have really anything to pass the time, they play tennis ball sometimes, it's really dull. And they have a giant pole at one of the dinner tables, and the gay couple decide to use this pole to kind of dance in the music. They played some good music at one point, and the stormtroopers realized, hey, these Chewbaccas are really good at dancing. We should set up like a whole strip pole in this section. And they eventually get so good at strip poling and doing like a prostitution house that they eventually win the admiration of the Empire and serve their interests. And they're very empowered. And that's how it ends. I think I'll get Greta Gerwig to direct this one. She did Barbie, so I reckon this tale of empowerment would be a very successful story. I think Kathleen would be would approve of this very much, and just aiming for that furry demographic. I think they'd love this film of oppressed Chewbacca's, bit of fur and a bit of love and heart and soul to it. Make it happen, Disney. As for who will play the Chewbaccas, I don't know. Danny DeVito.
Both of them. All of them. All in the strip club.
That was my story pitch. And
so how does the stripping work? Do they have to actually put on clothes, or do they just start shaving themselves during the striptease?
They have to remove the leather patches.
Okay.
It's like a bit of a striptease like that.
It's pretty hot.
The fur stays on. The fur is the attractive. That's what gets to the stormtroopers. They have weird taste of stormtroopers. I mean, they're so bored. They're quite useless soldiers. So they have weird desires. Anyway, I reckon like a 200 million budget would do.
I think that's
giant.
Absolutely, I think that's pretty good.
Listen, if they're giving She-Hulk 25 million for an episode, then I think that's a reasonable.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. I think we got this in the bag. Easy. That's an easy one.
Thank you.
Make it happen, Kevin. Come on.
Thankfully, I had stale popcorn ready.
Nice, James. Nice.
Thank you. We all remember the shower seasons.
I'm glad I don't.
Oh boy, no. Anyway, Metal.
Yes.
Your story.
Okay, so I was going the more casual Marvel route. So I kept it easy. It's a lesbian couple, but they get trapped in Wanda's horror town. But it's not like in WandaVision. It's an actual horror town because everything went wrong. Instead of being like a happy town, it's like all shape. It's a shape-shifting world, and the humans have been turned into like bloodthirsty monsters, and it's like all gross and disgusting. But Wanda won't correct this because she has trapped herself in a dream where she is living her normal, perfect life that she likes. So that's why she doesn't correct it, and because she's evil, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
And those two lesbian teenagers, because I'm keeping the teenage drama.
It fits perfectly.
So they're also quippy and wacky, of course, because that's all the characters now. They tell you how lesbian they are by telling you constantly how much they scissor around in all the places before they got trapped in this horror house. And they have to face all kinds of adversity of monsters, but because there's teenage drama. The one girl is annoyed that the other one hasn't told her that she went to the cinema with someone else.
Oh my god,
you bitch!
that is
And that
dramatic.
almost got
Wow.
her. That
I'm at
almost
the edge of
gets
my
the
seat.
other one killed because they're just arguing with each other, but
Mhm.
they get out of it just by a hairpin, but they forgive each other because love is more powerful than anything. And then they
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and give Wanda a hug, and she's gonna be fine. And nobody cares
Oh.
that she turned all the humans into monsters. The end.
That sounds depressingly realistic.
And I feel like
Uh,
Mrs. Gao, who made She-Hulk, she's gonna be perfect for this.
oh, of
This
course.
means the horror will be shit because she doesn't know how that works either. But she didn't know how courtroom stuff
Courtroom.
works as well. So
You
who
got.
gives
I
a
mean, you
shit?
got hired to write a courtroom drama, and you don't know anything about courtroom.
Yeah,
style.
so might as well.
Directed by.
By director X. That's the Robin Hood guy, isn't it?
Yes, yes. He's been on like Flashcast recently. I'm wondering how that went.
I haven't been following that stuff at all. Like I heard it's just a bit of a clown show. That's all I heard.
I would highly recommend Disparu's at least the first episode on it.
Oh,
It
okay.
is some of the most hilarious shit I've ever seen. It is glorious in every way. And I'm gonna watch the Disparu's video. I'm not gonna watch it itself.
Yeah.
I'm haven't lost my marbles yet. I still have taste.
I have. I just keep going.
You
I
just
do it for the
chug through.
people.
Yeah. That's I guess the home advantage. Getting to watch all these terrible movies with a bunch of mates.
Yeah.
It makes it all the more fun. I just have to watch shit that myself if I want to review it. And that's just always the depressing. Just to endure the pain of playing Spider-Man 2. That was just so. I was so looking forward to it too. I was just like, as soon as they announced Venom, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Anyway,
Yeah.
at least I got the
Same
refund.
for me with Alan Wake 2. I was rooting for it. It's like, let's go, it'll be good. And it's like really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Alan Wake 3?
I don't know. Because I think I saw that is the story they wanted to write. It's like that, but you did so well the other times. Like I know you can do fun stuff. Why did you like the gameplay is not that fun? Like you cocked that up, and I know you can do it well because I played Control and it is really fun to play. It's really fun to play. Oh, whatever. I don't want to talk about Alan Wake anymore. It makes me sad.
It's behind you now. Never again to look back on.
James is currently going for the game. So
it's not like you waited 13 years.
Yeah, he's going through the game right now. He got an Xbox now because he wanted to upgrade anyway.
Oh,
and that's the first game he's going to play on that. It feels so bad. He was watching my streams already, and it's like, fuck, this is so dead.
I don't know. Like you brave through it, Metal. Like good on you to suffer for it.
Yeah, great for me. I played Sekiro 2 days ago. That was an actual video game. That was great.
Yeah, a good.
No,
like,
yesterday, not 2 days ago. I lied.
Yeah, a good aftertaste. I've never actually played a Souls game. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I might start streaming Elden Ring. I've heard that's a good start.
It's not for everyone. I mean, I would say just start with Dark Souls 1 and then just make your way up to Elden Ring.
I
2.
I did. Dark Souls was free on Xbox 360. I did give that a go. I had no bloody idea what to do with the first boss.
And that's the beauty.
It is just like Dark Souls. I don't know what I think about them. I don't know. It looks fun, I played like Ghost of Tsushima on Lethal Plus difficulty. I enjoyed that so much with the boss battles. And someone told me, "Hey, it's Sekiro is similar to it, so you might want to play that." And it's just like
Sekiro is fantastic. I mean, I just got reminded of it. I haven't played it in a long time. Then I saw Mala not replay it, play it for the first time. Actually, I was like, "Damn, this looks really good." Actually, and I'm going back for it. It's like, yeah.
The Lives of P. Chat, send me all the Dark Souls recommendations.
Lives of P
what do you think I should start off with?
Lies of P is kind of like a mishmash of all the Souls things out there. There's a lot of influences you can tell if you play the other ones. Some good, some not so good. Adapted or not adapted. There's some weird things like a stagger bar. You have a lot of stagger things going on, but you don't get a stagger bar like in Sekiro, for example. Where it's like, why didn't you put that in there? That's weird.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, I did say the show was gonna last 90 minutes, so we went a little over. So apologies
oh,
about that.
it's all chill. I'm used to do way more, so it's all cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that would probably wrap up the show. Metal, would you like to shoot anything out or promote anything? I've put down your Twitter link,
Cheers.
your YouTube and YouTube archive links in the description below.
Yeah, thank you.
So for anyone in the chat who doesn't know Metal,
Yeah.
Go subscribe to him below.
Yeah, Metal's Forge. Go check that out. There hasn't been one. I've been doing less because I'm working. I'm trying to work on videos more, which I am working on right now. I need to do a little bit more re-recording. And then I'm hopefully getting started on visuals finally. So actual
Nice.
scripted content, hopefully still this year. I'm kind of aiming at the end of November, start of December. Let's see.
Cool. That's awesome, dude.
And people don't know what it is yet, and you won't find out yet. But I'm gonna do that. Metal's Forge. Yeah, I'm kind of being more selective with those. I did like one each week, I think last year, but there were some episodes in there where it was like that wasn't really that great of an episode. It just felt like an episode I did because I said I'm going to do one every week, but I wasn't really into it, or it wasn't that fun to talk about. Like Knock at the Cabin that came out last year somewhere, or this year, with Batista or whatever. That was like kind of boring. So yeah, this last one I think I did more like one a month. Like the last one I did was Expendables 4, which ended up being a discussion about everything else except Expendables 4, because Expendables 4 was really boring.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I watched your stream on Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
With Meme Repository, and it's just I love that animated movie so damn much, and yeah, it was very refreshing to you guys to break it down.
The DC animated stuff is like way better than what they should fucking shat out during the course of the DC DC whatever DCEU I think is what they call it. But yeah, very interesting to see what happens next now with James Gunn. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, the template is right there. There's just the quality is right there. Maybe you could replicate it somewhat with the animated content.
Yeah.
I saw someone in the chat ask about Ghost of Tsushima. Any word on Ghost DLC quality? I've not purchased it. I am going to now since I have the PS5 and I can upgrade it. Some of the games are like upgradable for free on the PS5, some of them not, and I kind of find that really useful feature. That's a free upgrade. Yeah, I'll let you guys know how I find the DLC. I always, because I did enjoy the game so much, it's definitely on my list.
Still need to play that one. That's been recommended to me lots of times, and I still haven't played it. My backlog is so large. I'm finishing Sekiro now. Blasphemous 2 is still on my list. That's next. Then Sifu is a one I want to play because Theo has been recommending that a lot. Yeah, I think I'm good for games for the rest of the year, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the hole to replace Spider-Man 2. I was just gonna bash that game, and I'm like, okay, done with the story. Return it. All right, get this fucking thing away from me. It's
fair play.
I'm just disappointed. Yeah. So as for my content, I always upload some stream highlights or some funny edits and whatnot on the channel. I know I should probably get on with that more so scripted content. I do want to do that, chat. I may do something on Spider-Man 2. Don't expect it to be 2 hours long length, but yeah, I might eventually do it. No promises, but I think it'd be a good idea to do something like that. Yeah, and I think that's all I have to show. Just that Spider-Man video that it might be in the works. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and staying with us. Always enjoy Metal on live streams. Thanks for the stream. Oh, cheers, Trinoculus. Cheers. It's good to see you here. Ghost doesn't have a free upgrade, sadly. Yeah, unfortunately. Games like Cyberpunk do, which is like, really useful. Fun stream. Great job, guys. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Metal, and everyone in the chat. I will
Thanks
see
for
you
having me.
all guys later.
See you guys.
Bye
Bye
for
bye.
now.